Hi, we are going to do our peace sign flower boho, and this one I am drawing, um, but I already have yours sketched out if you bought a kit. But otherwise, if you're going from scratch, this is what you do. And what I did was I just took a circle thing and I just made a circle. And it doesn't have to be exactly in the same place or whatever, but we're just going to sketch this out. Okay, so next we're going to just start filling in colors. So you don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing, but I'm just using my little round brush that comes with the kit. I'm using my little paint pots that come with the kit. And we put these kits all together for you. And then we make the little videos, and so you could just sit and relax and have a cup of coffee. And right now I'm doing red, and then I took a little bit of yellow, and you can pause this video anytime you want. And I'm just tapping like that. And then I'm going to go to my next little one, and I'm just going to outline it with red. It's okay if it's a little jiggly because it is supposed to be kind of boho and handmade looking and fun. So I took my red, and then I'm taking my yellow, and I'm going to have a warm side and a cool side. You can also speed the video up if you want to. And then here is some blue. Just putting the blue over here, and then to lighten the blue, if I lighten the blue or the red with white, I would have gotten pink. That's why I lightened it with yellow. But now I'm just going to lighten the blue with some white. And I just took some white and I'm just tapping in the blue just to blend those edges. And I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom here. Just going to do some blue. And you can kind of curve that in a little bit. It's a little more blue. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my white and just tap. And here, maybe a little bit. You don't want to get too much paint where it's going to take over the whole thing. If you do get too much paint in your brush or on the canvas, just wipe it off with a paper towel on your brush and then just start tapping again. If you get too much light, then you can add more blue back. If you get too much white, you can add blue. If you get too much blue, add white. And just tapping those away. Then I'm going to take my black and I'm going to start sketching out my little peace sign here. And you can adjust these, like this one looks like it's a little bit higher on this side, so I'm going to go on the other side and I'm just going to adjust it a little bit. Hopefully we got your sketched on where it doesn't do like mine just did. But we did. You can always adjust those. All right. And it's okay to be a little twisted and quirky. I like to kind of wiggle my brush around this, so I'm going to lay it down and I'm just going to wiggle it back and forth so that it has a little wiggle, not a straight line. It looks like rickrack, more like a rickrack. Around the edge, gives it a little bit more pizzazz. All right. Well, hopefully you're enjoying your favorite coffee or favorite latte, tea, or other fun beverage while you're doing this. And you can always pause the video and take a sip. Or if you're painting with others, you can stop and kind of take a look and see what theirs are looking like. And if you didn't want to do the red and the blue, you could also do other colors. Like you could add yellow to the blue and make a green. All right, and we'll just go around this here. And I'm just curving around where these petals are. Kind of circles the bottom of them a little bit. Get nice and clean. Circle, circle. All right, now what I want to do is I want to go up to the top and I want to just kind of outline the tops of the daisies. My peace daisy, peace sunflower. Right. With black. And if you ever need anything, you can always email us with a question or message us. We'd be happy to answer any questions or you can come down on the sunflower just a little bit if you want. You know, you don't have to stay right at the edge. You can kind of come down a few of them. If you see, what I'm doing with this is I'm taking my brush and I'm dipping it in the black and then I twirl it off on the cap over here. It's my little palette. And you get a free brush with these kits. And you get free paint. And you get the pattern already sketched out for you. we're just doing these black outlines. I'm going to bring a few of those down. Okay. I didn't bring them all down. I left some of them, you know, open. Right, now what we're going to do is work on our background. So on this side I want it to be a hotter background. On that side I want it to be a cooler background. So I'm just going to start by adding some red in here. Sorry, just really shaky here. So I'm just going to, and as I get in by that black, I'm just going to kind of tap, and it'll pick up some of the black and make it a little bit darker, which is good. Nice to have variations of colors in there. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my yellow, just kind of tap in there. So we're going to have it predominantly warm on this side. However, we are going to have some cool colors. Like I'm going to take some blue right now, and I'm just going to kind of put right here by this nice warm red. And then I can take some white and just tap some white in there. See how fun this is? It's just fun. You're just going to take colors and just overlap them and just tap them in. All right, and then we're going to take a little bit of red here. The other thing you can do is go around the edges, like on each side and the tops and the bottom, so that you can have it ready to hang up right away. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of purple. You put right here. A little bit purple. This is so much fun. I just love painting these little fun paintings, and you can even write quotes on them, or you can you know, and give them out as gifts. I put a little bit of white on top of those, so I put purple there, the blue there, a little bit of white on top of them. And I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to put a little bit of purple here because I love that purple. How that's looking. That is looking. And then I'm going to take a little bit of blue. And I'm going to take a little bit of white just to give it some variation there. A little bit of purple. I'm going to spread that purple out over here. I like that purple. And then I'm going to take some red. And if you notice, red or yellow and purple are complementary. So if you put, I'm going to show you what happens. It's all right. I mean, it just makes it, but it gives you kind of a grayed down color. Add a little red over here. Saying you don't want too much purple and yellow mixed together. And we're going to do a little yellow in here. And there's no wrong way to do this. You're just adding colors to your background. And on the other side, I'm going to try to keep it a little cooler. So mostly blues and purples and white. So here is blue. We just add a little white. Tap. That in there. We're going to come over here. We can come a little bit further here with the warmer colors. I'll take a little bit of red and just pull that right in here. I'm just going to tap those together so it looks like they kind of blend together. Then I'm going to take a little bit of purple. We'll add that purple here, maybe here. Those are kind of small spots. A little blue there. Blue here. I'll take a little white. Purple here. And we're gonna go blue up here. Got into my sunflower there just a little bit, but that's all right. Will not hurt it. And I'm going to pull the red over here. We're just going to kind of tap that blue and red together. Finish it up there. I am going to add a little bit more white over here because it's so bright over here. I'm just going to brighten it up over here, and I may add a little of warm tone over here too. Just pop it up. We'll just add a little yellow over here. When I add it on top of that blue, it's still a cool color. Just going to carry this over a little bit. And you can just play with your background, you know, just like I said, there's no wrong way to do it. This is just experimentation and having fun with your paint. All right, and next what we want to do is we want to start laying in some color on these petals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one petal here to show you. Doing this one red. And then I'm going to take some white. I'm just laying that over that, just kind of dragging it down. And I turned a little bit pink there. And I'm going to take a little bit of my purples, go on the sides. And you could just, you know, make this all one color. You could just make them all yellow if you wanted to, but kind of like this variation of color thing going on. All right, and then I'm going to do this one yellow. So each one I pick a few colors, and I'm going to take some of my purple, the complementary, just to kind of muddy it up. You can see how it's just turning brown, but it's the brown I wanted, so here we go. We're just going to muddy that up at the bottom. And I'm going to wipe my brush. It's important to wipe your brush in between each color. I'm going to put a little bit of white there. I'm going to take a little bit of my red and a little bit of my yellow, mix them together, and top of one of my little lids and make an orange. And I'm just going to kind of bring that orange down a little bit on the top there. The flower is so wet, it's like sliding colors back and forth. If you start to kind of fight with your colors sliding back and forth, just go to the next petal and you can come back to it. Okay, now I'm going to make a red one right here behind that one. And I'm going to take some of that orange, that red and yellow that I mixed in the top of my little paint pot there. You can also just get a paper towel to be your palette on the side. And then I'm going to make this one bright yellow. And again, take a little bit of that purple and kind of muddy up the bottom. Just give it some shadow. Looks almost like a little sunflower quilt pattern. Yeah, it's kind of cool. All right, and then we're gonna take some more red. I like these little black back ones. I like them to be red. They're looking pretty neat. Giving them some distance there. And then I think we're going to paint this one red, but we're going to turn it pink so it sticks out in front. Oh. Putting a little bit of white on top of that red. More pink. I can put a little purple on the edges. And like I said, I'm trying to keep with the warmer colors on this side, even though I will add a little bit of cool colors over there, a little bit of blue. The reds, yellows, oranges, those are your warm colors. And the blues, and blue greens, purples. You see how those just kind of sunk back and the other ones are on top. Now we're just going to some yellow here. And this time, I think we're far enough away, I'm going to add a little bit of blue right here, just that green. Just kind of cool that one off a little bit. Might add a little bit right here too, just not very much. And I'm going to add a little bit of white in there. This one I'm going to add a little bit of red below, and then I'm going to take my yellow and just kind of stretch it out, make an orange petal. And the same thing here, put the little red down there on the bottom. I'm going to take my yellow and I'm just going to kind of stretch that out. And you have plenty of paint in your paint pots that you can do a couple of these. After you do this one, you know, just sketch it out another one on canvas or canvas paper, canvas board. Add a little bit of purple right in the middle there. So We're getting towards the cool side. And a little bit of purple right here. Give it some shadow. And this one to me doesn't look like it has enough colors in it. So I'm going to go back and just add some white highlight here, like that. I might do that to a couple of them. Like along the edges. And this is just white. If they look flat, just add a highlight to them or shadow. You can also get your markers out once it dries and make other little, you know, designs on them if you want to. Like, you can get very intricate. Right, and now we're going to go to the cool side. The cool side. Okay, this time I'm going to put blue down here. I've got a lot of blue out here, so we are going to use purple. Mix those two together. And these are going to have to be a lot lighter. To show up against the black, so, or against the darker colors. Here. But blues and greens. Gonna do like blue down here, and then we're gonna put a yellow on top. See how that goes. I got blue in my brush, so it's already turning yellow or green. The yellow is already turning green. Yay! Oh, I love that. Looks pretty. I think I'll take the green that's on my brush and just kind of brush it in a couple of other back petals, because I really like that green playing out. Okay. Add a little bit of yellow on this one here. A little bit more blue in this. Blue down here. This still has some green in it, so it looks really cool. These remind me of little stained glass looking quilting. So add some white here, just highlight. Running out of white. On my brush, not in my palette. I have plenty in my palette. I think I want to add a little bit of purple in this blue. And do a purple right here, maybe. And a blue here. Just kind of feeling out where my colors, I don't want them to be like the same, like 5 blue ones, or I want to kind of mix them up. Like a blue and a purple and a green and a yellow. I'm gonna do this like a lighter blue. Also reminds me of how tie-dye looks. It's very 70s. Alright, and then we're going to go back through and add a few like highlights on the sides. Some of those petals. And you could just play with this until you run out of ideas. But it's such a fun, colorful peace sign. Sunflower. Peace sign sunflower. And you can add a little bit of light, and I'm just taking just white, and the flowers are kind of drier now, so this is not going to really blend in to them. It's just going to sit on top, which is great. It makes them kind of pop out from the background. And you don't want to like outline the whole flower, like you one here and one here. This one kind of goes there, but it doesn't go on this side. It doesn't go down here. You don't want to like outline each petal. You know, just want to give it a little light. And I'm going to take my light, and I'm just going to put a little bit more white right in the centers of these. These are dry, so it's not, and I'm just tapping this in so I don't have to blend it, just to make that pop out a little more. And then you can kind of outline a little bit of your peace sign here. Give it a little not a complete outline, just a highlight. Alright, and then I want to take a little bit of my blue and just kind of go down the center of my, I want to leave that black on each side, but I don't like that the black is just flat, you know. I want to have some color in there. I want it to stand out. So I'm just taking some of my blue and I'm just going down the center of these blacks, just a real light little tap. Just to put a highlight in there. And a little bit around the edge. Here, you don't want to overdo it because, I mean, I can sit here and probably come up with different stuff I can do all day to this thing. It's just so colorful and so much fun. Maybe you want to make yours like monotone or like all cool colors or all warm colors. You have enough paint that you can be very creative and take it whichever direction you want to go in. And now I'm going to add a little bit of white to my blue, and I just do that on the top of the little lid. I'm going to show you my paint pots after I'm done, just to show you how that worked out. Otherwise, you can also use not paper towels, but you can also use paper plates. So all right. And if there was a step that you were like, oh, I don't really like the way that looks, I liked it before, then, you know, that's fine. Just have fun creating however you would like to. Down here, I think the background got a little, once it dried out, it just kind of smushed down, so I'm just going to add a few more there. Little red, little yellow. And you can also go back and outline some of your daisies if you want to with I'm going to push back here with the blue. We're getting on the cool side, but we want it to blend. Like, we don't want it to look like it's a really noticeable line. We just want to, and I have a little bit of each one of the temperatures going in and out of each other there. And this is a bigger petal, so I'm just going to add a little more highlight to it. And this is just white. This is, I'm just adding to the bigger petals, I'm just adding a little bit more highlight kind of away from the edge. And one here. And then I'm going to go in with even lighter blue here. And this is almost just white. All right. And like I said, you could just keep playing with that all day if you want to, but enjoy. And thank you for choosing Arty Party Art Kits. Have a good day.